We'd like to get started here with Justin Thomas at the Players Championship. Justin has 1 top 10 and 5 starts at the event, attempting to become the 4th player to win the Players Championship, a major, a WGC, and a FedEx Cup, and is tied with Dustin Johnson for the most wins on the PGA Tour over the last 4 seasons. Justin, if we could just get an opening comment from you as we begin the Players Championship a year removed from the shutdown of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I would like to say a tie for first last year, but I tied with a couple people. But I'm glad to be back. It's a great golf course, a great tournament. I went out and played yesterday, and it's the most pure I've ever seen the golf course. It's the greens were so fast, the fairways were so pristine. So I think it's going to be a great week, and I'm hoping that we get the weather that we're expected to have, and I'm so excited to be playing in front of a good amount of fans again and get some juices flowing and hopefully produce some good golf.
All right, with that, we'll open it up to questions to media that we have on the line. We will start with Daniel Rappaport of Golf Digest. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, Justin, given the last couple of months, you've had to deal with some off the course distractions. Have you ever had a tougher time with off the course stuff, and then what's your mental state now? Having a solid start, a concession under your belt, and then a couple weeks off.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I have definitely been better, but at the same time, it's a good opportunity for me to try to grow and learn and get stronger because of it. And yeah, I think it's kind of put a lot of things into perspective, and unfortunately for my golf, it's taken a toll on that a little bit, and I haven't been, and I'm not playing as well as I'd like, but I've been working and kind of tweaking things here and there, just trying to figure out kind of what's going on. But at the end of the day, I'm like an iPod Nano. I just keep shuffling.
I like that. Thank you.
Next question, Steve DeMeglio, USA Today.
Justin, do you have to learn this golf course because you've had you contended, I think, in your second appearance here, and then you've had a top 11 has been your other. Everything else has been a mixed bag. What are your thoughts on attacking this golf course and trying to be successful on it?
Well, Steve, I think as good or as well as I was starting to learn it, it got switched to March, so I kind of had to relearn it. I really, really loved this place in May and how firm and fast it would play, and I felt like it was not very many drivers. It was just I used a 2-iron at this event, and I just would get it on the ground a lot and just kind of really just focus on hitting the ball in the fairway. I'm still clearly focused on hitting the ball in the fairway because this is a course that if you drive it well, being in March, it's always going to be softer, and the fairways and the greens, and you can make so many birdies out here. You have 4 par 5s, a lot of short scoring clubs in the holes, but then again, if you get it out of play, you're missing the fairways. You get out of play on the par 5s. It's tough to shoot under par out here. So I think that's what makes this golf course so good, and why also a lot of people have had a wide array, including myself, had a wide array of finishes, because it truly is just how you're playing. I feel like it's not like a lot of courses where you can, even if you're playing bad, you can just kind of skank it around and hit it on one side. And I know that, if I'm going to miss this fairway, I can at least hit it over here and then get it over in this part of the green. It doesn't play like that. You really have to step up on each tee, on each par 3, par 4, par 5, and just hit the golf shot that it requires and then keep going.
Thanks, big man.
Tom D'Angelo, Palm Beach Post, go ahead.
Hey, Justin, looking ahead, if I may, have you made a decision on if you're playing Honda next week, and yes or no, why? And then also, I wanted to ask you your thoughts going back exactly a year this week, and what you recall from that crazy week.
Yeah, I haven't decided anything in terms of next week, but in thinking about this event last year, I'm staying in the same house. We have a friend that lives here, and myself, Ricky, and Jordan all stay in the same house. And when I got in Sunday, I was going upstairs and kind of taking my my bags, or my girlfriend and I's bags, to our room, and it was just like, it was almost a little emotional, because the last time I was up there and Ricky and I were sitting on this couch with his wife, and we're trying to figure out what are we going to do, what's going to happen, what's going on. I've never seen anything like this, so it definitely brought back some very odd, bizarre memories. But it's crazy to think it's been a year. It's crazy to think we're still in it. But I'm just proud that the tour has done such a great job that we're now able to have 10,000 fans or whatever it is this week. So it should be fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Eric Munston, ESPN, go ahead.
Hey, Justin, on that topic, based on your kind of, I guess, bizarre experience of the past year, what are you most looking forward to getting back to normal in the tournament setting? And do you feel like this week can be a step towards that?
Fans, not even close. Having fans and having that energy is something that I've missed so much. I think it changes the golf tournament so much. I mean, the pressure, the nerves, everything that goes into it, it really makes it different. It makes it better, I think. It gives the tournament the atmosphere, the buzz, the adrenaline. It's just everything about it is so fun. I mean, you can make a 60 footer on 17 when you're even par, and an event with no fans, it's just another putt. But when you get a big crowd like we could potentially have here this week, or like normal, you feel that buzz and you feel that energy. So it's little things like that I know I miss, and especially once you get into contention, you just can't compare it. It's totally different. But that being said, we're getting closer, getting better to getting fans back and getting it somewhat back to normalcy. And like I said earlier, the tour's done great in terms of taking that step by step and making sure that we'll be okay whenever we're ready to do so.
Next question will go to Steve Hummer, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Kathy, if you could just turn off your video until you're asking a question, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Eric kind of hit my question, but I was also wondering, how long do you think it will take you to become truly comfortable to interact with fans and even fellow competitors, as you did before?
Fellow competitors, I'm fine with it now. I've been fine with it the whole time, and we all get tested. There's a reason we go through this protocol, and we're in the bubble. I'm completely fine with interaction with them. But in terms of outside, that's where it gets tough, because obviously everyone is doing most likely what they need to, but you just don't know. And the unknown it's not. The thing for me is it's not selfish. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for everybody. I'm trying to make the proper decisions at home and when I'm not playing, for the sake of the PGA Tour. Because if I do something that puts myself in harm's way or puts myself in jeopardy of getting the virus, then if I come out here and then I were to spread it, or were to give it to, or was with somebody, or sharing a house with somebody, and then next thing you know, there's an out, like that's my biggest fear of anything, is I think that I will be okay. And if I knew it was just going to be me, then I wouldn't have the same worry or fear. But the fear of it potentially spreading or getting bigger because of me is my issue, because I just want to be selfless in a situation like this and think about everybody else that's involved in the tour, not just me.
I guess you can see a time where you'll still be, where you can exchange high fives with fans or get closer to them, sign autographs.
Yeah, it'll obviously happen at some point, and the tour right now is creating the policy of not doing that. So, and I understand why. It's the same reasons I said, but I even started a couple years ago. Any high five, I just fist bump, because it kind of hit me one time that I'm high fiving all these people. I'm eating food, I'm touching my face, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, that's not very healthy. That's not very good for me long before all this happened. So regardless of what's going on in the world, I think it's a smart decision for me personally to not be touching random people and then touch my face and eat food. But it'll all make sense and get back together when it can.
Yeah, good call, thanks.
Ryan Lavner, Golf Channel, go ahead.
Justin, I had two ones unrelated for you. You mentioned tweaks in your game. What are you working on in particular?
Honestly, I think I have been trying to tweak too much or look for things, and I mean, I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. I think it's easy to search for too much or think that I need to find something when I maybe don't, if that makes sense. So for me, it's right now, it's getting consistency in my driver is something that I'm really focusing on. I mean, I've hit more drivers in 3-woods the last month or so than I have in a while. Just working on getting a position at the top of my swing in a place that my dad and I like it, in a place that we feel is going to generate more consistent shots, and that's what we've been working on. And just continue to work on everything else. That's the hard part, is you can't focus so much on one thing, because then the other parts of your game go astray, and that's just kind of in the never-ending chase that all of us are a part of out here.
And then I wanted to ask you about your good friend Jordan Spieth, who I'm pretty sure that you know. To your trained eye, what's different now than say 6 months ago?
Not much, really, and that's the same reason why whenever I was asked about it, I wasn't worried. I mean, I felt for him. I obviously I wanted him to perform better, play better, but I wasn't worried about him. I knew that he would start playing better again, and I know he's going to win again and contend in majors and probably win majors. Like, that's, he's too much of a gamer. But for me, just watching him, I mean, he's doing the Jordan Spieth stuff again. He's making hole-in-ones, he's holing out bunker shots, he's making long putts, and it just, that stuff, he's got that walk, he's got that swagger to his step, and that confidence. And confidence is such a huge thing that you can't just turn a switch on and say, I'm confident now. It's all the work that he's put in, he's practiced so much and just created those reps to where he's able to hit the shots that he wants to do and do it enough to where he's built that confidence back. And now that he has it, he trusts it on the golf course. And it's just kind of spreading throughout his game. And it's great for the game of golf. It's great for him. And I also think it's great for me. It'll probably end up pushing me as well.
Thanks, man. Have a good week.
Thanks.
Gene Purnett, Florida Times Union, go ahead.
Hey, Justin. Rory mentioned earlier, we were talking about how so many athletes in other sports, when they are at the top of their game and they stay relatively healthy, it doesn't matter what sport you're talking about, they tend to kind of stay up there. They stay elite for quite a while. But in golf, I mean, things can get sideways in a hurry, and you see what happened with Ricky, and what happened for a while with Jordan, and how it can kind of just leave you for no particular reason, that isn't injury related.
Yeah.
Why is that about golf? Because in tennis, the same 3 players have been dominating the majors for 15 years.
Yeah. In terms of other athletes, it's not take anything away from them, but the fact that it is a team sport helps. I mean, if they're able to use their leadership and their knowledge from past experience, if their game maybe isn't at a high level, to pass to younger generations, to younger players, to then bring them up closer to the level that they're accustomed to playing to. And then when they start playing well again, then they're unbeatable, and they go on a Jordan with the Bulls type run, or like what Steph, and the Warriors did, or like what Kobe did, and like what LeBron's done a little bit of. So it's and obviously Tom Brady, like it's stuff like that, to where he, they went there and they had and he had his struggles this year in terms of the regular season, but then he's able to get to the players, reach out to the players, and kind of tell them what they're doing or help them learn. That way, when they get in those big moments, then there you go, they win the Super Bowl. And it is crazy, because it age is such a thing in golf, especially. It's something that we can play for so long, and age realistically doesn't matter. I mean, it does once you get to a certain age, obviously, but I mean, we can play out here for 30 years and really be relevant, which is so cool. But at the same time, like you said, it can go astray so fast, and it's just hard because kind of like what I was saying with Jordan, confidence can just go. But then again, you can just have stuff. You can be so close in this game and not score as well as maybe you're playing, or just have a couple things go on, have some things go on in your personal life, have some bad breaks on the course for a year, or maybe you're struggling with your equipment, or just whatever's going on, and that's it's just all on you. You're the only one out there that's going to play each and every day, each and every week, in each and every year, and you really just have to make the best out of what you have.
Thank you.
Doug Ferguson, Associated Press.
Justin, you talk about the ebbs and flows and the nano shuffle and all that good stuff. Everyone goes through it, obviously. But when you are looking for a level of consistency, and something like the Masters is approaching a month away, do you find yourself, or can you fall into the trap of pressing too much? Sense of urgency or what have you?
I think so. I think that's something that I've done, is I've put too much pressure on myself. I've been trying too hard. I think I want to win so bad, and just I really want it too bad, and sometimes I just kind of have to step back and just let it happen, and be more process oriented, as Coach Saban would love to hear. Not get so wrapped up in the moment and forcing things to happen, but I just need to do all the things that I can control and prepare as well as I can, and work on the things I need to work on, and then once I tee it up, just let it all happen, and wherever I end up is where I'm going to end up, and I can only be where my feet are and control where I'm at, and in the off weeks I can prepare for Augusta or prepare for weeks like that. But I can't get over wrapped up in like, oh gosh, I tried to hit a couple draws today and I didn't draw it. Like, I'm not going to be able to hit the tee shot on 2 or on 13 or 10 or whatever. It's more like, okay, well, why was I not drawing it? Okay, well, maybe I just had some heel strikes. Okay, well, let's just focus on maybe hitting the ball a little bit more in the center of the club, spend a couple days on that, and then hopefully be able to fix it. So the sense of urgency definitely, I think it's present a little bit in myself, but I also have realized it, so I'm hoping that that it helps with that.
And secondly, Phil dropped out of the top 100 this week for the first time in like 28 years. If it's a record that can ever be matched, who's the best candidate, do you think?
I mean, I don't know how long's like DJ been in it, or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, you look at Rory, myself, Jordan, Rick. I mean, DJ, I think I just don't know how much longer he's going to play golf. So that I'm not sure if he's going to have it however many years left to do that. But I mean, there's a handful of guys, especially as young as guys like Morikawa, Hovland, Matt Wolff, got into, the top 100. I could see guys like them doing it, but like we're saying earlier, golf's a funny game, and you never know what's going to happen.
Thank you.
Ben Ebrel, PGAtour.com.
Thanks, mate. Hey, JT, the 12th hole's got the back tee available for the first time since the redo. I think it's like 380 or something. Does that change your approach, and what would that be?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's 370, so it's not drivable anymore. I played it yesterday, and it was into the wind, and yeah, you just lay it up, and I mean, I personally don't like the hole that much. I liked it a lot more before they changed it, but it just doesn't. It's not like a comfortable yardage or shot shape for me. It's but that being said, I mean, I've made plenty of birdies. I've hit it on the green, and it's a risk reward hole. I mean, if you lay it up, it's extremely narrow, and then you got a green that all falls away from you, or some tough pins. So you just have to commit to whatever you're doing. Is kind of what I've learned on that hole. And that back tee, I'd say there's only one or two people that can fly it up there near the green, and that'd be Bryson and Rory. Maybe Tony or something like that as well. But it's just it just kind of depends on what the wind's going to do, and I would think that they won't put the tee back there every day. I think they want us to try to give that green a go. So I'll just kind of take it for what it's worth, wherever the wind is, wherever the pin is, and wherever the tees are.
Do you have a perfect number when it comes to just layup in general? Like, what's your favorite shot?
It depends where the pin. It depends where the pin is and how firm the greens are. I mean, if it's a back pin, I mean, if I could get it to something like 65 to 70, that's perfect, depending on how firm the greens are. Or, if it's a front pin, anywhere around 100, because then I can either hit a full lob wedge and rip it back, or I can hit a sand wedge that still has some spin. So it's so situational, depending on wind, firmness of greens, and pin.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Justin, those are all the questions we have. Thanks for your time
Yep.
and best of luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.